Good morning and welcome back to my kitchen. My name is Kat, and if you're new here, we have been baking our way through Some of My Best Friends Are Cookies by Emelia Jackson. We are on the 8th recipe in this book today, which is Jammy Thumbprints. This is a pretty traditional recipe, but it's got a couple of changes. Instead of using almond meal, this one uses hazelnut meal, and it calls for plum jam. Now, I'm out of plum jam. My plum tree died a couple of years ago and I haven't made any. So we're going to use a 3-berry jam that I made last year. And I'm looking forward to these ones. It's a really cold day in Melbourne here today, so I think some nice warm cookies will help. Let's get started. First up, we're going to combine our hazelnut meal and our flour and set that aside. So we need 100 grams of hazelnut meal, and 125 grams of plain flour. We're just going to whisk these together. And set them aside. As I mentioned, it's really cold here today, so my butter is still very cold. So what I'm going to do is just pop it in the microwave for a few seconds, just to make it a little bit softer. I'll be right back. So I've got 120 grams of butter here. I just microwaved it for 20 seconds just to make it a little softer. I'm going to pop this in the mixer. We're also going to add the zest of 1 orange. And we need 1 teaspoon of vanilla. It says to use paste, but I'm going to use the extract. And we need 60 grams of caster sugar. And we're going to mix this together until it's just combined. So that's come together pretty well. We're going to add our our hazelnut meal and our flour. And half a teaspoon of salt. And we're just going to mix this together until a dough forms. So that's come together nicely. So I'm going to wait and see how much one scoop. I think I might need to use the smaller one. Yeah, that's a little big. It says that we want them to be 20 to 25 grams, and that is 20. So I will use the small scoop. And we should get about 18 biscuits. I got 20. That's close enough. So it does say that these will spread, so I'm just going to space them out a bit. And I'm just going to use the back of my cookie scoop to press a divot into each one. So I have my oven preheated to 180 degrees. It says that these will take 12 to 15 minutes. So I'm just going to put them in for 10 and then check. So while those are baking, we're just going to warm up our jam. I have a 3-berry jam that I made, and that's what I'm going to use. I'll just wash my spatula. And we need 100 grams. And to our jam, we're just going to add a good pinch of citric acid. And we're going to let this sit for a minute while our biscuits bake, and then we're going to warm this up. And here I'm just warming up the jam with the citric acid in it. We want it to be a little bit thicker, so we're warming it up to help it set better when it's in the biscuits. At 10 minutes, I rotated the biscuits, turned them all around, and put them back in for another 2 minutes. And in the end, they cooked for the full 12 minutes recommended by the recipe. And the jam is just cooling in the saucepan until it's cool enough to put into our biscuits. We don't want the jam to be too hot because otherwise it could make our biscuits soggy. So once the biscuits have cooled completely and the jam has cooled a bit, I add the jam into the biscuits and then we just leave them for 15 minutes for the jam to set. So you can see the jam is set nicely. The bottom and the edges are just nicely brown. This one's a pretty nice looking one. So I'm going to taste test one of the ugly ones. That's nice. I really like the hazelnut meal, and the citric acid makes the jam a little bit more tart, which is a nice contrast. My jams are not especially sweet, so I don't know that my jam particularly needed the extra citric acid, but I do like it. I feel like if you were using a store-bought jam, that would really help with the over sweetness that a lot of jams have. I really like that. That's really nice. I'm sure the kids will enjoy those. Thanks for being here with me today as we made these jammy thumbprints. If you would like, I will pop another video here that you can enjoy between now and my next upload. Thanks for watching. I can't wait to see you next time. Bye.